Toraburu trouble. It starts out, they're in space, and there are some spaceships flying away, but the lighting is such that you can't really see anyone's face, and you see someone, she's flying around, and she appears to have large, extremely bouncy breasts. And she's just flying through, and several people are hot in pursuit. They're coming up, they're almost there, and then boom! She, teleports away. And it goes to the little intro jingle where they sing about something. And then it comes down to Earth, and there's some boy. He likes a girl, but he's finding it difficult to confess his love for her. And the reason he loves her is because when he was a young fellow, he was outside and walked by, those school gardens where kids have a garden at school?
Yeah.
Like a vegetable garden or something?
Yeah, like that. Teaching kids the value of working hard and how to grow vegetables. Anywho, he walks up to one, and he looks down, and someone's just effed it up. The whole, it's all destroyed. And he bends down, and he picks up a trowel. At which point, the girl who owns it was right behind him and runs off. And he's like, "No, it wasn't me." But no one believes him. Except he overhears this one girl who, when asked about him, she's like, "Well, I think he's, let's go somewhere else." And so he never hears what she says. And he thinks, "Oh, she clearly loves me and is the only person who believes that I didn't destroy the vegetable garden." And that's where his love for her began. All right, so that's that. Anywho, I think he's in his room or anywho, a space girl shows up out of the blue, and she's all naked, and he accidentally puts his hand on her breast, and she's just like, "All right, yeah, this roll." She gets some clothes on, and he's stuttering, and some more horribleness ensues. Anywho, then the two guys eventually find her, and it turns out she is the princess of this star system, but she's, I don't know, not into that, and she's kind of running away from home. And so that's wild. And so the next day he's going to school, and he walks up to the one girl he's liked, and he bows down and says, "One girl I've liked you ever since I saw you, and I really like you, and will you go out with me?" And then he bends back up and realizes he accidentally confessed to the space girl because she happened to pop in right at that moment, right in front of him. And she's like, "Oh, you love me? That's great. We'll get married." End of first episode.
That to me sounds like madness.
Doesn't it? She was definitely a boobs McGee. That was her reason for being on the show. And it was kind of bad in general. Yeah. So any questions about that one?
Questions? No.
How do I make sure I never watch it?
You've heard that one before, have you? You've seen it before?
Yeah. It was just called something else. And then something different.
There are different characters, but it is pretty much the same show.
What was this called?
Toraburu trouble.
Yeah, I'll make sure to avoid that.
Oh.
What? Say it again. To love Rue trouble?
Yeah.
Where's the trouble part? It's just to love Rue.
Well, get it? To love Rue in Japanese is trouble.
Torabu?
I don't get it.
It's a joke.
Well, what's the joke?
Get it?
No, I don't.
The Japanese love puns, is what you have to understand.
All right. Well, what's the pun?
Trouble.
If you say to love, but pronounce it like a Japanese man, and then add Ru at the end, it spells trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Rabu? To Rabu is trouble.
Yeah.
To Rabu Ru is true love. Not a real word, but it sounds like trouble.
No, it is trouble. To Ra Bu Ru. Kenny taught
All
me
right.
that one.
Well, good thing I understood now. It was a thing, and there's reason behind it.
Yeah, the guy who came up with that got paid the big bucks.
I bet they did sit around for a while and think of it, and then they came up with something.
They were
"Yeah,
like, "Hey,
that's-
remember Tenchi Muyo? Yeah, let's make a harem." That's what they thought. That's exactly what they thought.
Like, next time, don't waste my time. Just skip to the let's make a harem part.
All right, next one, Denki-gai no Honya-san, the Electric Towns bookstore is what that one's called.
Okay.
Either one of you seen this one?
I have, yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Laven?
No,
Okay.
never
Well-
will watch it.
Well, let me give you a taste.
Yeah, tell me how about you live vicariously, and I'll get to have watched it based on your description of the show.
It's the story of some middle schoolers as they try to run a anime store.
Okay, I'm gonna leave now.
Are they middle schoolers?
Well, they look like middle schoolers. I mean, they may not be, but
No,
that's
they are.
kind of the age they looked.
Okay.
All the girls are quite small. Anywho, so they're just selling anime and having a ball, and then they go in the back and they have to put plastic on the anime.
in the
I mean,
back.
manga. Yeah. But they seem to be selling that suck like hotcakes. So let's see. This one woman, an inspector, comes in and is like, "Hey, you need to put a little tape on this anime because it's for adults, and then people can't peruse it." And they're like, "All right." So that was probably 5-minute bit they had, and then one of the guys, you just come up to him, and he finds the manga that you just would be great for you to read, and then you, I don't know, cry and thank him. So that was another 5-minute bit. One of the little girls, she's like trying to get into the manga business, and she draws manga, but her deadline's tomorrow and she doesn't want to draw it, and they help her draw it. So that was another bit. And then they went to some kind of Comic-Con thing and they sold some of their manga. And that was the first episode. Yeah.
Wow. I don't know if I had as much fun listening to that as you had fun saying it, but wow. Just wow.
Well, I think you would enjoy it because it's about people in the manga business trying to, make it in the manga business.
I don't like that they're middle schoolers, though.
Well, yeah, I guess there's that. But I guess they could be high schoolers or college kids if they one episode said that they were. I mean,
You just believe? Is that what you're getting at?
I think they're all supposed to be like full adults. They look like elementary schoolers, but they are adults, like with working a permanent full-time job.
really?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Even the girl with the big hat?
Even the girl with the big hat.
I saw an episode where they have a Christmas party and they're all drinking, and the guy, tells them to work overtime, and none of them ever go to school. So I feel like they're all
They're
adults.
delinquents.
So they're all just working in a manga shop. Well, it reminded me of the next anime, Shiro Bako, literally white box.
Yeah.
This was one Laven recommended, and I thought it was pretty similar to that one. It starts out, there's some girls in high school, and my gut reaction is like, not this again. But then they just start whipping through that. Just like one scene, they're sitting down like, "Hey, let's draw something." The next scene, "Hey, you're pretty good at drawing that." The next scene, "Yeah, I have a horrible family life and my dad's abusive." Next scene, "Hey, you're pretty good at drawing that." Next scene, "Hey, we're going to show this off at the school fair." Next scene, "We're graduating from high school." That was like the intro, and I was like, all right, well, I guess I don't have to watch about some school club. And then it goes, and I think they all make a pact to make anime someday or something like that. And it goes to one of the characters, and she's grown up, and she's like in a car, and she's tired. and then this other car comes up beside her, and he revs up his engines, and she revs up her engines, and then they just take off down the streets of Tokyo at night. And those cars must have weighed as light as a feather, because every bump, they were just flying. They were taking the streets hardcore. I'm surprised they didn't kill anyone. And that was very surprising. I have no idea why a car chase was just thrown in for no reason whatsoever. It was just, I guess the abused girl part is over, and we're just going to start driving now. Okay. And then they get to their final destination, and they go up to a character who has large breasts and say, hey, can you draw some stuff for us? And she says, okay. So I guess that was why they had to drive fast, because they needed to give her some stuff to draw. And then she goes back, and everyone's like, hey, we need to make this anime real quickly. And then they make it. And the CEO of the anime company, he's always like making curry or making chili or something. He's just, hey, I got some soup for you. Why don't you have a little bit? And everyone's like, oh, well, that makes sense, I guess. I think that was pretty much the whole episode. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, there was one bit I thought that was okay. They go up to one of the guys and we're like, is this done yet? And he said, no, it isn't, sir. And I'm like, well, do you understand that we need it to be done? Like, yes, I do, sir. Because if we don't get this done, we won't get the whole episode. Yes, I understand, sir. Well, we're all screwed. He's like, yes, sir, we are screwed, sir. And I'm like, okay. I like this guy. He's doing all right. He's like comic relief or something. I don't know. But he's there. I like him. And I didn't like anyone else, though. They could have died in that car crash, and I would have said, all right, I guess they're dead. So, Laven, what did you enjoy about this show?
I like the car chase, or the race.
Yeah, it was pretty good race.
After that, it was all downhill.
You know, if you're going to watch a car race anime, make it this one.
Yeah, I would just skip Initial D and go straight for Shirobako. It's basically the same thing.
It was something.
I wonder what episode they're going to have another car chase, just because they hooked so many people on the first episode and they're all expecting a car chase.
It seems like she has to get places very quickly, so yeah, they'll probably have some more car chases. So what do you think, Jack? You going to watch it?
Yeah, I'm going to watch this one. It's not terrible.
I'll give you that. It's not terrible. I didn't like it, but I could see someone else liking it. It didn't have like a lot of tropes or anything. You know, they only mentioned the girl with large breasts. Her breasts were large like twice in the whole episode. And I was like, well, that's good.
That's pretty good.
They had like 50 characters, though. Just everyone and their dog showed up for the first episode. It's like, hey, here's Jerry. He takes the prince from here to here. Here's Larry. He takes the prince from there to here. And there's Sari. And she takes the prince over to here. Now, do you know who they are? I'm like, no, I saw them for 5 seconds. What's going on? Why'd you bother even introducing these people? And they went through like 20 people, one after the other, and just done. Went on with the anime. It was crazy. You should have been there.
It really felt like it's really trying to like get otakus to, try to convince them like, yeah, look how fun it is to make anime. It's a lot of fun and cute girls, and then they'll try to get them into the jobs and then, just get them to drive fast for them and deliver the prince from there to here.
That's what otakus are known for. Driving fast. Living life on the edge,
That's what Willis always does.
And Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan, he's a pretty fast driver too.
Yeah. When the pizza man comes, he's got to get it there in 30 minutes or less. You know what I'm saying?
It's free.
I'm being very literal, so hopefully you do know what I'm saying.
I do know what you're saying.
All right.